We got another look at the Google Pixel 11 Pro, as well as some surprising new features that we weren't expecting to see. So first up, we've got a brand new feature coming to the Pixel 11 series called Pixel Glow, and this one is actually pretty interesting. Now, as the name suggests, it's a glowing light system built into the phone. It's designed for things like notifications and Gemini Live, and it looks like it's going to support different animations as well, so things like breathing, flashing, and color loop. Now, the feature was discovered in the Android 17 Beta 4 code, and it actually explained something that didn't quite make sense before, and that is, of course, the change to the camera bar's design. Instead of being body colored like the previous Pixels, it's now completely blacked out, and the reason for that is, of course, because there are going to be LEDs hidden underneath it, allowing the whole bar to glow, and honestly, I'm all for this. I never really used the temperature sensor that we had on the previous model, so replacing it with something more visual and interactive like this just makes way more sense. Now, something else that's going to improve your phone is today's video sponsor, NordVPN. If you care about staying private online, especially on public Wi-Fi, a VPN is one of the simplest and most secure things you can use. Now, NordVPN encrypts your connection, so your data stays secure whether you're at home, traveling, or something like an airport or cafe on their Wi-Fi. It's genuinely effortless and even allows you to access geo-restricted content, but it goes further than just a VPN. With their Threat Protection Pro, it can block phishing links, scam websites, malware, and even those fake online stores before you even land on them, so it's actively protecting you while you browse. It's also ideal when you're traveling. You can securely access services and subscriptions that you already use without compromising on speed or safety, and one account covers up to 10 different devices, so you can have things like your phone, laptop, tablet, and everything's protected. Now, if you want to stay private and secure online, you can check out NordVPN using my link down in the description below, and you'll also get an exclusive deal with a big discount, plus 4 extra months included for free, and it's completely risk-free with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Now back to the Pixel 11, and we've also had some confusion this week around the new Tensor G6 chip. Now, reports mentioned that it's going to be using the CXTP481536 GPU, and this had a lot of people questioning why Google would use what looked like a 5-year-old GPU in a brand new flagship chipset, but that's not exactly what's happening here. Google is using an updated version of that GPU, so it's now got native Vulkan 1.4 support, and because the Tensor G6 is built on a 2nm process, they can push higher clock speeds while still keeping the thermals under control. So in reality, it should be a noticeable improvement for both performance and efficiency. Now, we've also seen rumors about a replaceable battery for the Pixel 11 series, but this one is a little bit misleading from some reports. Now, what was actually discovered is a patent from Google. It does show a battery that slides into place without adhesive. While that could make repairs much easier, it doesn't mean you can just pop the back off and swap it like you used to be able to on older phones. Now, there's still seals, adhesives to the back and front panel, and components required to maintain things like your water resistance, and more importantly, it's just a patent at this stage. There's absolutely no confirmation that it's going to be used in the Pixel 11 Pro. Now, the biggest upgrades this year are expected to come from the cameras, and especially in the video department. Now, Google is reportedly testing major improvements to ultra-low light video with footage that's going to remain usable about 5 to 10 lux, and this is basically near darkness. And if that holds up in real-world use, then it's a massive step forward for video. Now, on top of that, we're hearing about 100 times AI-assisted zoom, and of course, normally when phones have this feature and push 100 times zoom, the results are very rough. But this time, Google is reportedly combining the optical data with AI reconstruction to retain detail and actually make it a usable zoom. Now, this is likely going to be exclusive to the Pro models as well, but it's still a big upgrade. Now, where things get really interesting and start to stand out is something called Video Generative ML. With more reports of this coming in, it's now looking very likely to happen. So instead of just applying AI to photos, Google is bringing those tools directly into video. So we're talking about things like object removal, enhancing your scenes, repairing noise, and even changing backgrounds of videos, all inside the standard Google Photos app. When you combine that with Google's wider ecosystem across Photos, Gemini and YouTube, the Pixel 11 Pro starts to feel less like a phone and more like a portable production studio. Now, battery and charging upgrades also look really promising. We've got Qi 2 magnetic wireless charging coming, battery capacities are expected to increase. When you combine that with the efficiency gains from the new Tensor G6, we should see noticeable better overall endurance. Now, next up, we've had plenty of sources confirming the design of the Pixel 11 series, which all confirms the same thing. And let's not forget, we've also had these renders from OnLeaks, who is almost always spot on with early designs. And now, with the Pixel Glow feature discovery, the new camera bar makes a lot of sense. Now, at this point, I'm pretty confident that this is exactly what the Pixel 11 Pro is going to look like, and from the front, it's very similar to the previous generations, but then over on the back, there are some clear changes. The camera bar is now fully blacked out, with only the frame keeping the body color, and this is no doubt for that new Pixel Glow. The flash has been moved to the center, and the temperature sensor has been removed entirely. And if we're being honest, that's probably the right call. It was one of those features that you try a couple of times and then forget about, so replacing it with something more useful just makes some sense. Now, of course, these renders are based on CAD data, which means that the design is accurate, but the colors are still estimates for now. But as soon as we get any solid information on the colors, I'll update these renders right away. Now, for those of you excited, we're now going to run through the full specs, design, and the expected pricing of each model in the range to help you guys decide which one is right for you. So hit subscribe now and we'll get right into it. So first, we've got the standard Pixel 11, which comes with a 6.3-inch 120Hz OLED display, protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 3. It's coming with a resolution of 1080 by 2424, along with improvements to peak brightness and overall color accuracy. And although it does keep the same display size as its predecessor, the overall dimensions are slightly slimmer. We get a punch-hole camera top center to house a 12-megapixel selfie camera, now paired with an under-display IR sensor for a secure face unlock. Then over on the rear, we've got a refined triple camera setup, a continuation of what we saw on the Pixel 10, but with upgraded sensors and AI processing. So that's a 50-megapixel primary camera, a 48-megapixel ultra-wide camera, and a 48-megapixel telephoto with 3x optical zoom and improved macro capabilities. Now, the phone's going to be powered by the new Tensor G6 chipset, which is built on a 2nm process. That's going to bring major boosts to efficiency, thermals, and on-device AI. It's going to be paired with 12GB of RAM and a choice of 128 or 256GB storage, which will be UFS 4. And then power's going to come from a 5000 mAh battery with 30W wired charging and Qi 2 magnetic wireless charging. And then connectivity is going to include 5G, Bluetooth 5.4, Wi-Fi 7, and the new MediaTek M90 modem offering faster 5G, dual SIM support, satellite connectivity, and improved power efficiency. Now, it's of course launching with Android 17, and it's going to be expected to launch around August 2026, and it's going to start from £799 or $799. Now, next up, we've got the Pixel 11 Pro, and this comes with a 6.4-inch LTPO OLED display running at 120Hz and again protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 3. The resolution is going to be 1344 by 2868, and it's been upgraded for even higher peak brightness and thinner bezels. We've got a punch-hole camera top center for a new 42-megapixel selfie camera capable of 4K HDR video. Then over on the rear, it packs a triple camera setup featuring a 50-megapixel primary camera, a 48-megapixel ultra-wide camera, and then a 64-megapixel periscope camera with 10x optical zoom and enhanced macro performance. Now, thanks to Google's new AI zoom engine, it can achieve up to 100x hybrid zoom while still maintaining impressive levels of detail. Now, it's powered by the same Tensor G6 chipset as the base model. It's built on the 2nm process and tuned for maximum AI and efficiency gains. It's paired with up to 16GB of RAM and up to 1TB of storage, which will of course be UFS 4. And it's going to be powered by a 5100 mAh battery with 45W fast wired charging and Qi 2 wireless charging. For connectivity, we get 5G, Bluetooth 5.4, Wi-Fi 7, ultra-wideband support, and of course the MediaTek M90 modem. The Pixel 11 Pro, of course, ships with Android 17 straight out of the box with 7 years of updates, and it's expected to launch around August 2026, starting from £999 or $999. Now finally, we've got the Pixel 11 Pro XL, the biggest and the most premium model in the lineup.
It features a 6.9-inch LTPO OLED display with Gorilla Glass Victus 3 protection. Again, it's going to be offering the top-tier brightness and color accuracy. We get the same 42-megapixel punch-hole camera as the Pro in the top center. It's capable of 4K video in HDR. We get full AI portrait processing as well. And then over on the back, we get a 50-megapixel primary camera, a 48-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 64-megapixel periscope camera with 10 times optical zoom and up to 100 times AI zoom. It also supports ultra-low light video, recording down to 5 to 10 lux, which is pretty much full darkness, and it's going to be powered entirely by on-device AI. Now under the hood, it's powered by the Tensor G6, paired with 16 gigs of RAM and up to 1 terabyte of UFS 4 storage. It's running a 5400 mAh battery with 45-watt wired charging, Qi 2 magnetic wireless charging, and of course reverse wireless charging as well. For connectivity, we've got 5G, Bluetooth 5.4, Wi-Fi 7, ultra-wideband, and satellite SOS. It ships with Android 17, and Google promises another 7 years of software support, and it's expected to launch from £1,199 or $1,199, and again, that's going to be in August 2026. So overall, the Pixel 11 is really shaping up to be a strong upgrade. The design changes are subtle, but Google is clearly focusing on what actually matters, like improving hardware and software, especially around the camera and everyday use. And of course, this new Pixel Glow is going to be a really interesting addition, and honestly, it feels like a much better use of the space than the old temperature sensor. Now, AI is of course going to play a huge role again, and this could end up being one of the most advanced Pixel experiences that we've seen so far. And that being said, because of the similarities to the previous generation, it's probably not going to make anyone with a Pixel 10 rush for an upgrade, but for those on an older Pixel or looking to try out their first Pixel, then it could be a great time to jump in. Now, with launch expected to be late August, we're still a little way off at the moment, so expect plenty more leaks and confirmations in the coming weeks, and of course I'm going to be sharing them as soon as they come in, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing in the future.